sports, and we had an amazing little show for you today. It's about 8:10. We're waiting for international superstar, I should call her. She is actually a entertainer, dancer, singer, songwriter, Krista Ray. She's all the way in Shanghai, or actually Beijing, but she is actually performing. I believe it is in going to be Shanghai, China. So she'll be coming in just a few moments. So give us a couple of minutes here. This weekend we have some really cool. I actually got a surprise for you guys this weekend. Where today is the 6th, and we actually celebrate our 4th month anniversary. Here she is on the 9th. So let me invite Krista in, and we'll get started. Okay, and we'll have some people coming back in, joining us on this show. Okay, in a few moments they should be coming right in. Hey, good morning.
Hello, good evening. Oh, good evening, good morning. Trying to.
I forgot that you were definitely in a different time zone, huh?
Oh, yeah, that's not fun.
Well,
Yeah.
here's what we'll do. I'm going to ask you three simple questions, but before I do that, won't you do me a favor? State your name, what you do, where you grew up at, and then I'll take it from there, where I start going into the questions for you.
All right. I'm actually not really hearing you perfectly, but I'm going to try to
Okay.
my best to. Can you hear me well?
I hear you beautifully. It's perfect.
Okay, at least you can hear me.
I'll speak up. I got
All
a big
right.
mouth.
Well, I need to make sure I can hear you. All right. So, where should I start from? My name is Krista Ray. I'm all the way from Ukraine, Europe. Music lover, really love music. R&B, pop, soul, mostly. But what else? Traveling, doing tours, enjoying my life, having a baby boy and a beautiful husband. So yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Here's what I want to do. I just want to start out with, just want to thank you for joining us on Keep It 100 podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for
Yes,
having me.
it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I'm sure we'll be having a part 2 and a part 3, and as you become bigger and bigger. But here's one of the questions I want to ask, because I did a little bit of homework. Normally on this show, I don't ask a lot of questions when I first meet someone. I just invite them on the show, and I go raw. So it's like, I love the surprises. We got a lot of people joining in now, so we'll be getting it going. But here's a question I have for you. So let's talk about your older projects. How did you get into singing, dancing? What inspired you?
Well, it started back in 2000, well, a long time ago. I don't even remember exactly when it was, but I guess yeah, exactly. When I was 16 years old, that's when I started. I went to my university and I was trying to sing there, but I was so like, I was not really confident because I was just brand new and it was totally new for me, everything. And I was very shy at that time. And my teacher, she did a great job, actually. I may her rest in peace. She passed away a couple of years ago, but she gave me a good experience, and she gave me this confidence. So I started back in my university, and then I'm not from the capital of Ukraine. I'm from a small town, but after I graduated, I think, no, it was a year before I graduated, I had an offer to work in the capital. So I went there, and it was like a cabaret show. It was very fun. It was very new for me also. I was like, experiencing every little thing. And then I got an offer. That was actually my first time when I I went overseas. France was my first country. And I was very nervous. I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to make it. What am I going to do? And they were telling me what kind of show I'm going to have. I was like Liza Minnelli, doing all of those cabaret songs and stuff, wearing a wig like this. Yeah, it was, I remember this time, and it was a small town. It was called Dijon, but we were traveling all around France, like three, four times a week.
Wow.
So, but you know, the only one thing that got me really tired is that we were having the same show all over and all over. Like I was having a contract, my first contract for 1 year. Imagine me traveling almost every
How
day with the same show.
how old were you?
I think I was like 22, something like
Oh,
this.
awesome. That's cool.
Yeah, so I've learned a lot,
Okay.
but I got a little bit bored
Right.
because I just wanted to have some difference, you know. I wanted to
Right.
do different kind of shows, different kind of styles. But it's a good school for me. Then I took a break. I went back to my country
Okay.
and I was like, should I go back or should I just try something else? You know, I was
Right.
like in between. And I was still trying to work and do different kind of gigs. And then I got in. I had a TV show. It's not
Wow.
really famous like worldwide, but it was famous in my country.
Yes.
And I had a that was actually my first song in Russian language. And I had a like opportunity to go to a live show with it, and I was so nervous. I remember that I was like holding the microphone like this, you know, standing like I was like, oh my God, how am I gonna take? How am I get that note? It's so crazy, but it was good. It was good. I got a second position. I was hoping for the first one, but you know, it's my first experience. I was really,
Right.
really like grateful even for that.
Oh, heck yeah.
And then I got an offer to go travel to China.
Wow.
And I was like, because the person who messaged me, I didn't know her at all. But she
Okay.
was like explaining me how work is in China, what I'm going to do, what kind of shows, dancing, not dancing. I was like thinking, and it was I think it was end of the year 2012, beginning of 2013. And well, I just took a risk and I went to China, you know. It was very crazy. I mean, compared to France,
Right.
it's completely different. It's a whole different level, energy, time, everything. The show was like crazy. It was too much sometimes, but it's that's how you learn, that's how you experience. For me, I was having a lot of fun, but
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Let me ask you this question. Coming from Ukraine, I have friends from Ukraine, and I have friends all over the world. So it's kind of
okay.
interesting. Um, Actually, living in the Caribbean of Mexico, I have some people that have actually moved from Ukraine to the Caribbean of
Hmm.
Mexico. Really good friends, and I noticed that as we were talking about Ukraine, how most of the people that come from Ukraine want to go back home and see family, and you guys are very close family oriented, I should say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, anytime I was traveling anywhere, especially for a long time, because like France, it was 1 year. China, my first contract was for 3 months
Hmm.
because it was like a trial, you know.
Right. Okay.
But then they wanted to extend and then they didn't give me any break. And I
Wow.
was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. I really like because everything is different. You know,
Right.
everything is different. Like food is different, culture is different, everything is different. And it's your first time here. And you're arriving. I remember actually that night when I arrived to China, I was very disappointed because I was in a rush for my flight
Okay.
and I wanted to make a change. I don't know why it came in my head, but I wanted to change myself just a couple of hours before I left. And it was a big mistake because I was like, I want to have like something different with my hair. So it was late and I found a hairdresser. They were like telling me, "Oh my God, he's amazing. He's the best. He's top. He's from Germany.
Wow.
He's for you." I was like, "Okay, why not give it a try?"
Right.
And he came to my apartment, and I was like, just do it. Just it was like my hair was like this.
Hmm.
So the final, I didn't want to see the whole thing that he was doing, but when we were done,
Okay.
I took a mirror and I was like, I wanted to. I can't really. I felt not good. I really
Okay.
didn't feel good. I was nauseous. That's how I felt. My mom was in the next room and I was like, Mom, please,
Right.
please, please, what can we do? I have flight like literally in 2 hours.
Right. Oh
But
my God. So the show wasn't a few hours.
No, it was not the show. It was the flight from
Just the flight.
Ukraine to
Okay.
China.
Okay.
My
Okay.
first
Gotcha.
time, my first
Okay.
time to go there. So I was like, not everything completely. The what I wanted, it was like completely different from what I wanted. But I was like, nothing. Yes, nothing left to do. I just have to go. I went to China, arrived, and I remember that I was like, because it's 10 hours flight. It was
Wow.
even more. I think it was like 12 hours flight. And I was pretty tired and hungry. And the first thing I thought when I arrived, I was like, man, I want to eat so much. But it was late. I
Right.
think it was very late, maybe 3 a.m. in the morning, something like this. And nothing, we couldn't really find anything. And I was like, oh my God. And I really, right now, I understand more about Chinese culture.
Hmm.
But compared to when I was like, compared to my first time there, I was very shocked. I wanted to go back. I was like, I want to go back. I don't want to stay here. I'm scared.
It's
I'm
different. It's
scared.
different.
It's really different.
Right.
It was different for me, but it's my second home right now.
Oh, how cool.
Yeah. So, yeah, we arrived, and that's how I started learning every day. How to put a show, and also we were rehearsing the choreography and everything. We were just trying to put everything together, and I even created my own costumes, which I was like, I didn't really know much how my
Yourself?
tour will be, because at that time I was not even having a proper contract. That's
Okay.
how it was. It was like a risk, just a risk. I took a
So,
risk and I just went to China. So I
are you
didn't really
telling
know how it's going to be.
are you telling me that you can sew? Are you a seamstress and all that too?
I'm sorry.
Are you a seamstress also? You can sew and put together. I
I
know.
was like trying to create something. I still have those photos, man. It's
We need
like
those. It's
uh,
important.
it's like, oh my God, I look like I don't know, like a high school student or something, like different person.
Let me ask you another.
But
I'm going to ask you another
huh?
question. Um, what was the biggest culture shock for you moving from Ukraine to China? I mean, what was like what really stood out when you first got there, where you're like, oh my God, this is so different? Because I live different places throughout the world, and I tell you,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Can you repeat your question, please?
sure. When you arrived in China, what was the biggest culture shock for you? What was the biggest thing where you're like, I can't believe this.
It was food. It was
Okay.
food. But just because we just found a place, like how to say, it was like a fast food, Chinese kind of fast food.
Hmm.
And it was like, I remember that what I had, it was like something like green beans
Okay.
with some green leaves. I had no idea what I was eating, but I was starving.
I'm sure you were.
And I ate a little bit. I was like, I want to go home. I want to see my mom. She's the best cook for me. Food is important to me. But then later, we found some Western restaurants, and I was like exploring more and more. And then right now I even love Chinese food because there are a lot of different kinds of dishes, and it's really good as long as
That's
that's
cool.
not spicy.
Well, let me move you along, and I'm going to ask you about current projects. I mean, so like the world's been in this amazing situation, uncertain times they call it. But this is a time where you actually push ahead and use the negative for positive things, new ideas. So, what have you been doing during this pandemic, and are you still performing, or how's everything been out there?
Well, China right now compared to other countries is safe.
I
That's
believe it.
what I can tell for sure. But when the whole pandemic started, it started in China. That's where we were.
Right.
It was pretty crazy. So we were just locked down. I was just home. We couldn't really go anywhere. We were just home. And nothing much we could do. I mean, I have my microphone at home. I could do a little demos,
Right.
and record something just to have ideas. But to go to the studio, nothing was possible to do. But when it got better, I started doing small gigs, and because right now China is really really safe. You can do shows, you can do
Okay.
outdoor shows. People can wear masks, some of them don't.
Right. Right.
So it's better. But right now I'm focusing a lot on my own music, because when I was touring back then, it was really difficult. I always wanted to write as many as possible, but it's like when you're traveling a lot and you're giving your whole energy, you're not inspired, and I was not inspired.
Right.
I had those lyrics, I put them on the side, because the only thing that I was doing is traveling every 2 days, flight, 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 flight.
Oh
So it
wow.
was like
Okay.
I didn't have a break. I didn't have
Right.
time to eat. I was waking up in the morning. I was like, oh, which hotel am I? What is the city?
Wow.
I have a small documentary. It's not really, it's really short,
Okay.
and it's showing there. We're literally like traveling, 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 and I just really got exhausted. So right now, I can say that I've had enough of this experience, and my next tour I will plan really properly, so I can have my time to eat, I can have my time to sleep, and I can have
Right.
my time to perform and enjoy it.
That's important.
So yeah, that's really important. So right now
Well,
I just, yeah.
oh, question I have for you. Just being out there, like future things coming up. Have you ever thought about? Were you ever offered to be like signed in to record labels, or have you just been like,
I really thought about it.
okay,
It's
all
a
right,
very tricky question.
yes,
I
yes,
really
I know,
I really thought about it, but you know what I believe? I really believe that nowadays you can really become famous, and you can really do music, and you don't have to have a label.
sure,
I mean, for me to have a label, it's a little bit of kind of like slaving. I
yeah,
don't want
okay,
to go personal,
no, I'm with you
but
on that.
I really want to enjoy doing music. I don't want to be slaving and touring,
Right,
and I don't want to be told what to do. So
right,
I really prefer to do my own music and just spread it around as much as I can, but I don't want to be signed to any label. I really think so.
okay.
Maybe I'm wrong, but that's really how I
That
feel,
that's a no, that's a great answer. I think it's very important that we are basically we have to actually kind of guide our careers in what we do. It's like I've done a lot of different things, and I have a lot of friends that are in entertainment. I have friends that are record label owners and performers and artists and movie producers and actors.
Hmm.
You name it, we have it.
Yeah.
And I always ask that question because I've had a lot of different people on the show. And one of the reasons I created this show is I wanted to give back to some of my friends that I knew had a lot of talent that wasn't being
Hmm.
seen. So this platform, what it does is a lot of people are watching that are either, like I just mentioned, are either record producers, they own their own labels, they're looking for
Yeah.
talent, or they're just looking to be seen, and kind of bring, that's why I brought up that question to you. Have you ever thought about having your own label?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever thought about having your own label?
Yes, we are thinking about this actually right now
Okay.
with my husband. We want to create this whole legacy by
There you go.
ourselves.
Okay. There you go. There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
yeah,
Let me
yeah.
ask
I
you.
really think what matters is your happiness, and what matters is you do what you love. But I
Hmm.
don't want this to become opposite, because for me, music is a really it's like a piece of air for me, and I
Right.
want to enjoy it. I don't want to, like I said before, I was traveling a lot every 2 days, plane, flight, 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 and I lost it. I was not really inspired. I was like, come on, I can't do this. It's not the way I want to do it. I just That's why I went back to my country. I took a long break. I'm here now due to
Okay.
the whole situation in the world, but but I'm definitely planning on doing something, and I don't want to be signed to any label.
I'm going to ask you another question because this is important. It ties into what you were just talking about. And it's amazing in what you've done. And I just want to take my hat off to you because to be able to, at a young age, leave where you're from, go to another country, and just go at it. I think that's the most important thing that you can actually do for others. So, like, there's other little girls or other performers thinking that same thought. Should I do it? and I think you inspire a lot of other people. So we want to take our hat off for that. But let me ask this question because I know, and I was talking to you shortly. So how did you meet your husband?
How did I meet him?
Yes.
uh, well, that's a very funny story, actually. Well, definitely, I met him in China, and
Okay.
yeah, we knew each other actually for 2 years before we started our relationship, and we didn't like each other. We didn't like each other. It was like,
That happens.
no,
That
she's a show
happens.
off. I was like, no, he's no, he's a player. You know, we always thought that something is up, so it didn't really click. So yeah, it took 2 years to finally realize that it's completely different. We always
Right.
knew each other because we have a lot of common friends,
Okay. Gotcha.
but yeah, we was like, hi, hi. Well, until we had to talk, and yeah, China. I'm very grateful to China.
Let me ask you another question about that. Okay, because and I'm going to tie it in with what you just said. You know how people perceive you to be a certain way, and then you're not that way. Let me ask this question because I was just with a friend last night, and we're talking and shooting a little pool, and I hadn't seen him in a while because he was in Mexico, and then I came back from Mexico, and then to the States, and we're both
Mm,
in California right now. But
hmm
what do you do when it comes to your friends giving you advice about your career, or just advice about what you should do next? How do you handle that with friends?
it's honestly, oh well, a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know. It's like they're telling me that there are different opinions,
Right,
but some of them are telling, "Oh, come on, it's just temporary. You're never gonna make it." For me, there is no such thing that you're
I
never
love it.
going to make it. You know, I really, this energy is like I don't need this. And oh well, you will dance for a while, you will sing for a while, and then you're just gonna sit at home and do nothing. Well, that's what you think. That's not what I think. I have a lot of questions like this actually. Oh, what's next? What are you gonna do? Like, are you gonna stop? Well, you have a baby now, so there is not much you can do actually. You're just gonna sit at home and just babysit. I was like, first of all, baby, for me to have my son is my biggest motivation.
I'm
Really,
sure.
like it's a big I'm like before I remember myself before I was like, oh well, me myself and I, that's all I got. I was
Right,
not really like, but right now I have a son, so I'm really motivated to do something better, you
wow.
know. It's
Okay,
just a matter of time because right now it's like everything is locked down, but
right, right. Everything's changing.
I cannot wait. But I don't really listen to my friends or people who say, "Oh no, you're never gonna make it." It's me. It's my world. It's how I feel, and I don't care what you think. You know, you don't. At the end of the day, you will never prove anything to anybody. It's your
Right.
life, right? So,
I like that. I like that answer. Very good. Very good answer on that. So
thank
let's
you.
talk about legacy because my family is all about legacy. I have family members that are into annuities and insurance. And can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of family that is into annuities and insurance and building legacy wealth. 10 years, tenfold over and over and over. And then I have the entertainment side, and then I have another
Hmm.
part of family that's into computers. Their guru, my nephew,
Hmm.
who's my business partner in this
Hmm.
show. He owns Smart Computer Concepts, Los Angeles, New York, and then Las Vegas. And now we have this
Okay.
this this company together. So that's my IT guy,
Amazing.
plus my business guy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So you
Very
met him
amazing.
first, and because he had I guess reached out to you, but for we talked about you possibly doing a label, your own label, which I think you'd be wonderful at because I was listening to your vocals, and I have a really good ear when it comes to music. Um, and you working in China and starting out where you're basically on the road and flying, you have a lot to offer someone coming into the business. Um, would you basically, if you were to build this label, it'd be your husband and you. I'm sure the family. So it'd be you and your husband building this label together.
Why not? That's actually my dream. I just want to have my family and just want to build my legacy with my husband because I don't see any any reason why not, you know?
Okay. He seems really awesome, and I read people really well. I don't really need to meet them. I can look into their eyes in a picture and get an idea of who they are. That's my background, just meeting people and warming up really quickly, and getting to know them and figure out who they are in about 2 or 3 minutes. That's what my background has been over the years. Um,
Wow.
about you, if
Hmm.
tell me something about yourself that no one would actually ever even think that you did. What's like some hobbies or things that you want to do later on? Like
Um, well, I have some goals apart from music,
okay,
and I will tell you why, because my husband is he's involved with sport.
okay,
So I have certain goals in my life right now that I want to change something in myself. Not, I'm not talking. I'm talking about shape, and yeah. I became a fan actually. I became a big fan. Before I was like working out, but oh man, no, I'm not gonna go today. But right now, since my husband showed me a lot, and it's like, okay, I want to do it too,
you,
and
you
I
know
love
I
dancing.
I noticed that he's in shape, and
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
I looked at him. I was like, okay, he looked like a football player. I was like, this guy must play some football, or he was a wrestler, or
Well, close
yeah.
somewhere to bodybuilding, field.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I think
somewhere
staying
there.
fit is important, definitely, definitely.
Very important.
So let's talk about your future projects. Let's go. And before we continue there, if someone's trying to get a hold of you or basically trying to find your music, can you tell us all the platforms where we can find it, or where we can find your
It's
music?
everywhere. It's on iTunes, Spotify, TikTok, Shazam, a lot. It's.
Okay,
I think I needed to make a post about it
okay. I think that's
because
important.
yeah, yeah, I will forward it to you.
Because
Yeah, for sure.
we're gonna definitely have a lot of people following. Because you remember, like after this show, we actually upload things. Because I actually it'll probably be tomorrow or so, but we'll upload it to our YouTube channel. It'll be on our
Okay.
Facebook page. It'll be Twitter. It'll be on Anchor Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. We get around. Okay, so
Oh man, you have a lot.
yeah, a lot. Well, we celebrate, and I want you to help us celebrate this also on actually August 9th, which is 3 days from now. It'll be our
Oh,
fourth month anniversary, and we've done a
wow.
we this is our 121st show.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Yeah, yeah,
You guys doing a great job,
we're
really.
moving.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're
yeah.
grooving.
And
We're
then
in the zone, we're grooving.
you know it. The other thing we're doing also, so you know that how big we're growing. We're actually going to be relocating. I was in Jamaica, then had to come back to California because of the pandemic. My
Mm,
nephew was living in Vegas already and operating the other company out there,
hmm.
but we'll be relocating to Vegas probably around the end of this month or so. And then I'm taking the company also. We're going to go do one location to the Caribbean of Mexico where I was living for the last 10 years. So I'll be doing that coming up in a couple weeks also. So
That's
we're
awesome.
busy. And then we're
That's
going to do some stuff.
awesome.
We're going to do some stuff more international in Europe. I have a lot of friends over there that are DJs and musicians. So we'll probably meet
Amazing.
up. So
Well,
let me
it's my yeah.
go. No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. It's your pleasure. You're saying
I
something?
want no, I just wanted to say